It is the new year. It is 2018. We are on a fresh adventure. We are going to the land of Zem Zem. We're going with Bill and Beckie, and they have explored the site in previous days. Zem Zem was a hotel and a town site from the 1830s when it was first established. It consisted of a large ranch and a bunch of home sites built up an entire canyon. It is now on public land, so we have the opportunity to go there and explore it. It got its name supposedly from a well-traveled or well-read visitor who tasted its sulfur springs and said that it tasted just like the waters of the Zem Zem springs in Mecca. I guess Zem Zem means healing waters is what it translates to, and an entire business was formed at this site from people coming from far away, all the way up from San Francisco and even around the world to taste its healing waters. So one of the goals this year is to get everybody out here that can into all these different spots. So I will be trying to get you directions, give you Google shots, do everything I can to help you find your way, to teach you what I do so you can use it in your own locations if you can't get to these spots. We are in Pope Valley, and we're taking the Pope Valley Crossroads over to the backside of Lake Berryessa in California. That's going to lead us to the Berryessa-Knoxville Road, and we are going to take that up into where we're going to park and go to Zem Zem. It's on public land. Anyone in the country can come here. Although unmarked, the trailhead is fairly easy to find. You take the Knoxville-Berryessa Road along the north end of Lake Berryessa and continue into the public lands. You're going to cross over 4 low water crossings, and then before mile marker 24, look for a turnout on the right and a green gate on the left. This is the inlet of Pewter Creek, where it flows into Lake Berryessa. We're on the bridge now, and that's one of the main tributaries that fills up the lake. The circumference now of Lake Berryessa is accessible by the public. There's lots of day use areas, boat ramps, all sorts of stuff, and it's California's second largest man-made lake. It is kind of a drizzly day here in January. There is a town underneath that lake. The town of Monticello was actually completely swallowed underneath the lake when they filled it after they built the dam in the 50s. Several of the old stone bridges were left when the place was flooded, and during really low drought years you can still see them sticking out of the water out here. But yeah, there was an entire town, Monticello, still under there. So we've reached the backside of the lake, and we're going to continue on, and this is the way. This is what it looks like. There's visitor stations even this far out. The road is still pretty much paved. There's some patchy spots, and you do have to pass through creeks, but it's not a four-wheel drive situation. It's more like a ranch truck type of thing, or as we call them, a Montana highway. At this point, you leave the lakeshore, and we are just traveling on a one-lane road. There's room enough for other vehicles to get by. The landscape's really beautiful, and we are entering the Knoxville public lands. So this is under the Bureau of Land Management overall, and you can, once you are, I think it's a quarter mile off the road, you can camp here overnight, hunt, and do all kinds of stuff. So get out there and enjoy your public lands. You're the best stewards of them. You ready? You with me? There was originally, like I said, about 111 people on the atlas maps where their population marks are. So we've gone a little bit farther. I just want to show you the road gets rougher and rougher, but you just take it slow, and there is asphalt on it. So not complaining, right? And it's beautiful out here. Absolutely beautiful. So this is the pullout. This is how you'll know it. This is where you park. It's just a wide spot right here. We got the OQ, the original Questers. So, what kind of, this is a what tree?
Monkey balls,
Osage orange.
Osage orange, yeah.
Osage orange, which one are they?
See these kind of, see the oranges laying over there?
Yeah.
And that tall tree there, and this tall
Oh, okay,
tree.
I would have thought those were elders from the bark, so I was confused.
And they found these Osage oranges that are 450 years old, and they've only grown to 54 feet. So they don't grow like a giant tree. They said they planted those in 1830.
1830. These two.
Yeah,
Crazy.
in 1830. So in all those years, they're telling me how far it's grown.
And then this is, you're showing me the staircase
Well,
buried in
we just found the
moss.
staircase.
Just now?
No, a couple days ago.
Okay.
But see,
Wow.
that's a real.
And then looks like a spillway.
Yep.
And then this looks like a really straight, deep shot here. Don't you guys think maybe a mill use or something? You know what I mean? Or maybe just the harnessing of the water caused it. But then look over here. Did you see that face? With the pipe and the whatever?
Yeah.
Looks like this is like a shelved in area here. That's awesome. Are we gonna go look at the stairs?
No.
No? I'm gonna walk up there and look.
All right.
Okay. You guys want to see what's up here? I know you do. Let's go look. That's the deal with the quest. What's up here is really sticky clay so far. Ugh. But stairs, that means people were supposed to come up here. So we will. Look at that. Oh, there's words. I found words. So it says 1935 sulfur. Looks like sulfur, SULPHUR dash 1935. What this is, can't tell. I don't want to mess with it too much. That's not really what you're supposed to do because you keep gouging the letters out. But yeah, looks like there's a little pool here, or a little fountain. Ooh, that's definitely sulfur water. So there's a spring here. There's a little spring head that they were marking, and a little placard. So that's awesome. And then a staircase that you can see actually starts here. Here's a spillway, and it goes up. So let's go look. Pretty awesome, pretty slippery. Let's not die. Oh yeah. Ooh, look at the quartz veins.
What's up there?
It is just the creek continuing on, but it looks like there's another sulfur leak that comes up right here.
There was a black sulfur creek and a white sulfur creek.
So that's what the placard there says, and there's a spring coming out of the hill behind it, and it says sulfur and then the established of the year.
Wow.
And then there's another one here that you can tell is a mineral pool. You can see the sulfurization, or whatever you want to call it, the mineralization on the leaves at the bottom. And it smells bad. There's demons in the water up here. Okay, I'm going to poke a little bit farther up. It's getting tight and ugly. I'm pretty sure this is all natural stacked, and who knows. This isn't even the path that we're on today. For all we know, it could actually continue up that way, you know. This could just be the beginning of a trail that follows the whole creek. But we will leave that for another day. You guys leave me a comment down below if you want me to come back and explore further up this staircase. We have very little literature. We were able to recover one little bit of information from another guy years and years ago who did exploring up here and gave handwritten directions, or it was in we get that. But yeah, steep little side canyon here off of our main adventure. That's one of the sulfur creeks, and there's the little placard. In 1935 they were here. Let's go look around. That means there's silver coins. I know that Zem Zem was from the 1870s or 1890s. Huh?
From the 1830s, I got the paper in my thing, you can read it to them.
Yes. Just looking at the place, one would never know that the 2 acres of flat, high ground to the right of the trailhead between Etiquera Creek and Zem Zem Creek was once the busy and vibrant homestead of a pioneer family in the later part of the 19th century. Little evidence is now left of their home and outbuildings or charred and shade trees, vegetable gardens and guest cottages, and farther up the canyon, hay growing and sheep cattle ranching operations. In 1867, Thomas Owen bought the land in Zim Zem, including the Sulphur Springs Hotel. Thomas and his sons went into partnership, and several homes were built, including the one at the confluence of Zem Zem Creek and Etiquera Creek, where Leander and Mary lived. It was a sturdy cottage built for a growing family, with a wood stove in the kitchen and a great fireplace in the living room, capable of taking 4-foot logs. Nearby was a rambling 50-foot-long barn with orchard of apples, plums, and peaches. Also planted were a row of Osage orange trees, a sweet-smelling fruit with an inedible pithy center. These trees can still be seen today, soon after passing the gate at the trailhead. Cool quartz or calcification chunks. This you can take off of public lands. So you can't take anything over 50 years old, but you're allowed to mineral gather just like any other public land for as long as you're not trying to sell it, you know, for profit, but for your own stuff. So any cool rocks that you find anywhere. So, but yeah, look at these cool little quartz layers.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't for water. You see the loop up there that pivots, and then a place to tie the rope on the post. This is like for hunters or when you're skinning out cattle or something, so you can hoist them up.
Oh, we are in a draw in the canyon, right, where you could round everything up to.
Right, and it's kind of a weird placement because you'd think you'd want to be able to pull a truck up under it, but in those days maybe just horses and stuff. But.
There are nearly a dozen flats on the way to the falls. Each one of these was then planted with hay or used for cattle or sheep grazing. Up to 4,000 head. 2 or 3 homes were built in the upper canyon for family members. Sheep raising proved time-consuming and expensive and eventually was phased out. In the 1880s, hot springs resorts popped up everywhere in Lake County, and the Owens discovered that boarding visitors was much more profitable than keeping stock. Yeah, and they used the cliff face. Yeah. Maybe they flattened it back a little bit just so you could have a pull-in area.
Well, it reminds me, you know, Pop built one like that at our place because we used to raise steers every year, and you have to have some place to hoist them up, gut them, skin them, quarter them, do all that stuff, and it was similar to that. I don't know why it's at an angle, but you know, it's what they had probably. And I notice it's square bolts, so you know, it's fairly early 1900s.
Okay.
But there was hunt clubs up here for a while too, so they may have put it up so they could.
You can see it's hand pounded to flatten it out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's brazed, not welded.
Details.
And the little things that you tie your rope to are old cast iron. They're not cheap little flimsy things like you get these days.
Oh, okay.
See the brazing on the blade.
Yep. And that ring actually is a hand-pounded ring.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
hand
could-
forged ring.
Yeah. That's cool. Nice detail.
There you go.
That's what I was saying. OQ, the original Questers.
Yeah.
So this is one of the fruit. Let's look at that puppy up close. Can you eat them?
No, they say they're toxic, but they say the old timers used to cut them up and put them in their cupboards to, they help deter insects and stuff.
Oh, okay.
They have some kind of natural insecticide in them,
Awesome.
but I don't know how well that works because we took a couple home to rot them and try and get the seeds to germinate, and they're just covered with fruit flies and stuff, so a little iffy on that supposed...
Maybe more fruit flies in the world than there used to be.
Yeah, maybe it deters cockroaches, but not fruit flies. Who knows?
Oh, a slug. Awesome.
Man, that's a fairly large caliber slug.
Yeah, it is.
Look out, hit something.
So that's the tip of a bullet that's been fired and impacted something and squished down like that, and the lead has turned white.
That's what I dug the other day.
What'd you find?
Big iron bar.
Oh.
Right
Big
there.
iron bar.
Right there.
Maybe right here.
Oh, cool.
Right,
Well, that's purposeful. It's pointed at
Holes.
one end, and then it's actually got a
3
notch
holes.
at the other.
And then this hole broke, is why it's there.
Cool. Yeah, and old enough to leave behind. So we're not polluting, folks. We are doing what you're supposed to with relics. So you found a fossil in here?
Yeah. A clamshell.
A clam. Cool.
I have it at home.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at the layers or the striation or whatever.
Yeah.
Weird.
It looks like almost like petrified wood. I don't know if that's solid or...
Anybody at home knows what that is, comment below.
Little one, but looks like...
There's clam fossils somebody left as a clue on top of the fence. So, water was plentiful and was piped to the house from a white sulfur spring located in a small canyon south of the house. It was lukewarm in temperature so that baths were pleasant even in winter. All sorts of stuff in the creek I just want to show you. It's a really, things are cemented together, but that looks like all kinds of fossils on there, you see. Really close up. Doesn't it? Let me know what you think, but don't those look like twigs and stuff? Maybe this is like stalagmite washed out of a cave is what I'm thinking. Some sort of cavern. Yeah, maybe that's how it goes. It's the bottom of a drippings. Looks like something from like mud pits. You see where there's like the negative impressions on the bottom of where there could have been twigs and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It almost runs through it all the way, and then on the top, drippings and
Drip, drip, drip.
yeah,
Drip. Yeah.
or bubblings up, bloop, 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 bloop. So it looks like good fossil bed, great rock hunting, all right here. So new territory. We'll have to come back and look at that, where you can beat me to it and get out here and find some of the natural treasures. But it is just beautiful. Let me show you. Everything looks like oh, there's just so much. Can you see the detail and the swirls in that? What are you? A lot of these rocks look like they're holding the impression of something that they were laid down on. Everything's very layery and layered layers. A used to be water trough.
It looks like some kind of big boiler there.
Oh yeah. Well, you know that's got some bullets inside it. Cool looking rocks. Look at that one. Very hard. It's not like a soft sandstone. Who knows? Petrified. You see the road behind him goes at an angle here and continues up that way, and then you could see another one cutting across here. Go slow enough for you. This is the road that we're on, and then there's another road behind us snaking up the hill through the bushes here. So that might be how Zem Zem existed, having 111 people out here but not all in one site and so hard to find. This was like any other spread out town where they were like a grouping calling themselves a town, you know?
Yeah, and it says in the literature we've looked up that they tended to build their places up in the draws because it stays cooler in the summer up here because it's like 120 up here in the summer.
It is.
You know? So see, this one goes up this way and then you see it zigzagging back across there.
Yeah. Yep.
Valley proper, and it flattens out into all these nice hay meadows. Apparently they had, when you look at it, you'll find wild wheat and rye and stuff that's not native, so it was planted way back when.
Zem Zem.
And that's also why they put their houses up in the gullies, because this was precious flatlands for growing hay crops and stuff.
Right, so we want to be looking up in the little, away from the mosquitoes, out of any usable flat tillable area or pasture land, but not too crazy steep.
Right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, see, it looks like the road ran around there.
Yep. Okay, we're looking for little possible could-be house sites. This is a little ledge above the road at the mouth of this canyon here. And I got a little signal, but I don't know if we're full of shotgun shells here or not. So I'm going to dig it first and then show you. Can stuck on the bottom of that. Let's see, old pop top, who cares, right? Yep, 70s can. But first find, first loud beep, it was aluminum. We'll fill the hole and move on. There are a lot of square building stones on this little flat spot. You can see that was the outside. It's got lichen on it and it's squared off. So I would say there was a basic structure here. And it's a good spot for it too. So maybe we'll check it a little bit better some other time. We're going to try and make some distance in here. So on the road, that's our things chattering on each other. A pin fell out of somebody's something. So we're recovering that. Good find, it's brass. Was it a high tone?
Yep.
That's probably another spot right up there. There's a little flat area. Oh, I see the road leading up to it also. From that first flat area where we're just at there to the left, there's a little cut in the grass that goes up to this next flat shelf.
I want to check at the base of that tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the wheat that's gone wild.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you run across
Rye?
ryegrass.
Oh, wild rye, yeah.
Wild rye, yeah.
Yeah, there's...
Yeah, it grows on a single stalk like this. See, all the seeds gone off of it, but...
Right, buried in the star thistle now?
Yeah, now star thistle's taking it over, but you can tell this used to be somebody's wheat fields and rye fields.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all that.
Yeah.
You just don't see that in undisturbed land. And of course now the star thistle owns it all.
You see the flat up behind that big dead tree of where something would have gone and the road going down.
And there's a gully right up behind it where they might have got water most of the year.
Yeah, and tying out of the main field area too. Yeah, nice valley. Look at those back creeks all running into here.
Yeah, and it just keeps winding way back and around.
Well, this is an obvious flat area here. Up and out of the creek. I think I see where the road came in kind of behind it. But I would suspect that this might have actually had a house on the point right here. It's a little bit of a build-up. So these fields are pretty pure. This is the time of year, January, so all the flowers that you'll see in spring that are blooming, that's the end of their cycle when they're going to seed. So here you can see there's a lupin from last year. See his like pea-like pods on there. And then this is a perennial, or maybe a seedling that's growing fast, but you see the blue? So that's a California poppy. And another, and I see another. So this field of wheat can explode into blue little clumps with orange flowers all over it. California wildflower. That's our state flower. And that is an old hunter shack, I guess, which you're allowed to camp at. So you're far enough out here now to where you can stay overnight. And the creek's running all along here with beautiful stones in it. And adventures to be had in all directions. But yeah, I wanted to show you that. This is when the things are actually growing, and then they'll be finishing when we think it's called springtime.
60s.
Cool. Oh, from the 60s.
Yeah. And apparently there was 2 of them until that tree came down.
Oh. Yep.
You know, someplace to get out of the rain when you're up here hunting and dress out your stuff.
Yep. A spot for you to hang your metal detectors.
Yeah, a place for your barbecue there.
Oh yeah, you can cook meat right there. Well, this would be a good spot to camp too. You could camp right here under the trees with your tent and then have this to use as your little kitchen area.
You can put your tent right under here.
If it was raining too, but I mean all throughout the year you could use this as like...
Yeah.
Base camp.
Yeah.
At 2/3 of a mile on high meadow ground is the old hunter's camp consisting of a couple of lean-tos on the right and a smaller roofed structure on the left of the trail.
Okay, so there it is.
A step down and closer to the creek is a wood platform and a pipe running up from a stake that looks like a makeshift shower. Birdsong was especially noticeable here, including the sweet warble of the meadowlark. When you go back, you can notice it more, you know.
And he says that everywhere where it's easy to cross, he realized that there was large oaks at the edge of these meadows, so you can see them.
I noticed this phenomenon of the crossing oak elsewhere. Along a sandbar to the right and then to the other side, a large oak seeming to mark the crossing. An oak on the bank at the exact spot most desirable to cross. Big Lazy Bend in Utica Creek. Soon you pass over a small tributary. A short distance up that creek is the source of Zem Zem's white sulfur springs.
That's that plaque that we found.
Yes, I think so. You may notice next to your trail some odd thorny fruit trees with softball-sized, sweet but unusual smelling fruit of a yellow-orange color. They have a distinct corrugated surface that made me dub them yellow brain fruit before I discovered their real name. These are Osage orange trees planted by Leander Owen in the late 1800s. These same trees can be seen a quarter mile up the road at the site of the old Sulphur Springs Hotel. The fruit is not exactly edible, but many have been used for flavoring. The road follows the base of the trees next to a meadow filled with star thistle now. Once it flourished with the Owens fruit orchards and vegetable gardens, and in the north corner of the lot to the confluence of Zem Zem Creek and Utica Creek, the Owen House once stood. So there's the Owen House is up here. And come
Here in the middle of this big old field, I think I might have an Indian grinding bowl, because I've found them like this before. Let's see what it is. See how round it is? It's been liking up for a while. It is not a bowl, although there's a little bit of a dish to it. There in the middle. Oh, it probably is a bowl. It's the bottom of a bowl. So you see, this is the last part of the dish. This had big round sides that came up off of it. Can you picture that? There's the round bottom of it, and then the sides came up, and that round bottom is what's left, and the plows have hit this and hit this and hit this. But I bet you buried in the ground around here are all the other sides to it. Can you picture what I'm stepping in? So there's an early on chip, and then another big chunk fell off, another big chunk fell off, another big chunk fell off. But yeah, that's what's left of an Indian bowl. That's my guess, because I have a few. Pretty cool. I'll poke around a little bit, but the old plows might have put the other parts really deep, and we're actually going to leave this right here because that's the law. But pretty cool. Do you see it? Awesome. There's the broken pieces. There's the road up beyond, stretching up in the canyon. I guess it goes for 3 more miles. My mom's calling me over here, and she's dug a relic. What's your relic? Holy moly, you went down deep. Oh, you got a shoe? And she's placed it back in the hole for, oh, it was a long ways off. But this is where it came from. I can see the rust in the dirt there. That's awesome. So, they were working this field back in the day. I just found way over there an Indian bull. So they were here first, and then this might have been, you can see the front of it, worn away from traveling on the hard rock. So probably the plow horse maybe even leaning into it out here, working this field, because this is definitely...
It's kind of small.
Plow donkey?
Well,
really?
That's small.
Maybe, huh? Oh, who knows?
Horseshoes are pretty big.
Congratulations, we're gonna put that back in the hole, and it'll live its life out here as a relic, because we're on BLM land, but that's a good find. Uncovering the history. That's a Zem Zem relic. I got it. So, that's the horse that went along with this wheat. Good stuff. Congratulations.
Thank you.
OQ, original quester. We'll have to go down and hit it up. That looks like an awesome spot, and it's not really up here in the field land. I think Mom just found the shoe of the horse that broke the Indian bull into pieces while it was plowing. Yeah. Yep. I'm down in a little creek here, and I saw a little detail that I wanted to share with you. I thought was pretty cool. So here's this grass that grows by the edge of this stream, and then see its little top here? Now this must have been a wad of seeds. Let me show it to you. Focus. And there it is. See the roots coming off the bottom? Pretty cool, huh? So the seeds have actually sprouted on the stalk, and they're laying in the water. See the next one? And they kind of float with surface tension on the top. Do you see that? There they are, like they could all break off and just float away. I'm going to strip some off. They just come off in my hand. And then they're just all little baby grass plants ready to float downstream and occupy whatever new territory pops up as the water drops, or get washed away in this winter's floods to higher locations. So that's what all this grass is here. Oh, fellow quester. Classic shot. There you go. Step down in here and you get appreciation for the cross section of the field too. How much natural dirt is built up in the depths of this canyon here, and the different layers below it. See the yellow, the red, and the white, and then the mix in it sticking out of the side of this hill. Oh, I wouldn't pull it out anyways. We can't bring it home. But look at that. I mean, we can, but it's massive. Now this looks kind of special. There's a little rise here, and it looks like the corner of kind of a built up area. We'll check it and see what's going on. Okay, let me show you what's happened to me. I am down here on my hands and knees. I found what I think is an old rock wall. I don't know if you can make it out. The grass is really tall this time of year. But it's there. And I'm down below it on what I think is a roadway that ran right in front of whatever this There's two terraces here, the top one and the bottom one. I haven't found anything in it, and I came down here and I got a metal beep. Remember, I'm looking for metal. I can't find it anywhere. I think it's just chirping on the ground. But down in this hole, I started finding kind of weird shaped rocks. And I don't know what exactly is weird about them. Can't really explain it, but they fit together in some weird ways, and how they were sitting when I dug them up was kind of strange too. So it might just be the layering, you know, that happens naturally. You see that? It's pretty cool. So I wanted to show you that. What I dug down to was this, and is that a squared block? You know, that's what it looks like to me. Does it have a bowl in it? Do you see that? So it's taking a lot of digging, but we're almost down to it. Oh, stop beeping at me. What's under the block? Are you guys ready? Let's figure it out. Yeah. That like an axe sitting there next to it? You see that? The shape of that. Weird. Okay, maybe I'm just seeing shapes. But that, we'll set that aside. We'll try and get this out of here. Are you gonna come out for us? Oh, yeah. Come on. There's a lot of rocks here. We're right by a river, so. That one looks kind of squared up though, doesn't it? What's going on with that? Let's look under it. Is there treasure under it? I don't see anything. We'll put it all in a pile and pass the detector over it. That's what was there though. Huge hole. I don't see anything metal yet. What's down here? Well, tell me what you think. Is that an old square block? Or what? What's going on with all these things buried with it? What do you think? Where's that spot? Nothing? Something? Okay, moving on. If stuff is that deep, we're in trouble. Well, I don't mind being outpaced treasure hunting by you guys, because you're who taught me. So, what do we got going on? He's checking, where, sticking out of the bank here?
Yeah, but see, it's obviously a rounded shape. It's cast because of the way it broke. So the only thing I know of that you'd have cast like that and that kind of shape would be the side of a cook pot or something.
So 1800s.
Yeah, it's been
cast iron pot metal.
Just sticking out of the bank.
Oh, I see the rust.
Yeah, it was just sticking out like that.
Cool. So
I'll
yeah.
leave it there.
No, that's what I was finding was deep stuff over in the field there. Okay, I got a signal off of that. Look, it's a nail in the road. We'll go ahead and move that to the side. But it's not that old anyways. But it is a big old barn nail. So who knows? Strong signal there, and you see what it is? Do you see it? We gotta dig a little bit more. Oh, don't hit that thing. Went on you. Aha, look at that. Look at it. Oh, that's been here in this little draw right off the road. I knew it would be a spot. Look at that. Awesome.
Oh, that's an even older horseshoe. Second horseshoe back.
We're having our lunch in this little spot along the river here.
It's always
Got
time
coffee.
for a hot cup of coffee, yeah.
Coffee, chocolates. These guys always bring the spread with them. And 2 horseshoes, bunch of nails, cooking pot. We got a taste of the culture out here, right?
A bunch of ore samples for when I get home to my sloughs.
Right. Got the gold pan out. So,
Let's see what kind of little heavy things live in this drainage.
yeah.
Must be something here. Get that thing, Zeke. Get it. Get it. There we go.
Oh, it's probably a work in progress.
20 minutes later,
Last week.
the dog is still on the willow root. No willow roots were hurt in the filming of this. This has really been a challenge today. The rocks are so hot up here. This is a natural stone. And look at the iron layers in that. I mean, those are chunks of, maybe it's a meteorite that hit and got stuck in the mud long ago. But there's a lot of that around. And it just makes your detector go crazy no matter what. What's on top of that hill? Or that hill? I'm up here on top of a hill above everybody. Climbed up to see if there was any cool sights. It would be hard to tell. The people were spread out. There's definitely activity everywhere out here. But the light is fading on us. We are still in the middle of January. And don't forget that every day now the light is growing. And there's always the next mountain to climb up and see if there's something cool there. And we will. So here's the best I can give you as an equivalent of a drone shot. This is looking down Zem Zem Canyon Valley, if you want to call it that. Beautiful. I want to see this place lit up with spring flowers in springtime. Really love this when I find these and I'm out hiking around. You see what that is? That's somebody's balloon. So we are so far out here, but when you're in the hills, you find people's balloons that have drifted far, far away. So little boy or little girl, whoever you were, this is where balloons go to die. Remember? Ahoy! That's where we were. I checked the top of that, and then came down that slope. We're on our way out, but just seeing if there was anything built up on the knolls above, and I didn't see much. We're looking out above there, and now we're headed home. We don't have badgers and stuff out here. All we have is coyotes and foxes. So this is one of them, and you can see here's a bunch of mitten that the whatever little furry creature is gathered up, made their little underground nest.
Yeah.
And you can see either side where the predator came along and dug it out and probably got it. And that's basically what coyotes and stuff eat. About 98% of their diet is ground hornets and little burrowing creatures like moles and gophers and stuff that they eat. So they're not really out there taking down the big stag deers or anything, you know. Rest the little shed. We'll leave it where it lays.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But that is still there for you. And then my dad was pointing out this crazy branch that doesn't look like any of the others. It's like the perfect hanging stuff off of a branch.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
Right next to the hunt camp?
Yeah, right next to the hunting camp. Strange branch.
It pretty is straight out.
Be good for a rope swing no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Freddy Krueger hunting.
Freddy Krueger of the backland.
So those aren't, those are newer than 50 years. We're taking them.
Yeah, that's right. This is what you call litter.
Oh, crap.
What?
I can't bring you guys home now.
I know.
You're older than 50 years. Leaverites, napkins. Look at a little newt guy climbing along the road.
Oh, hello.
Hey, where are you going to? Can we pick you up for a second? Hey, little newt.
Hello. Hi.
We're not gonna let him fall. Bam, there on your journey.
Go on, put him up higher. He had already made a little progress up there.
Let's give him a little start. There, duck dive through the waves. He says, right on.
Oh, bye.
Bye, have a good journey.
Oh, bye.
Who knows where he's headed. Of course, it is sunset and we are heading out of here, and guess what I found? Ta-da! Square nail right there. Beeps everywhere. And look where I am, and we're right back near the entrance, about a quarter-mile in, and we're up by those big trees on a little ledge. So, pretty cool. Are we filming each other?
Yep.
Are we on live feed?
Both of you go telephoto and see each other's eyes.
We're shooting to Alaska right now, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Just getting back to the cars. Post note. So, and then he just started saying he was seeing lizards. Yeah, man, he was tripping out. He was like, they're all over the road, dude, and he wouldn't even drive. I don't know if this is gonna pick him up. See the little newt there? That's what I'm talking about, man. There's lizards all over the roads.